when you just look at that and you think to yourself, I've been an MVP of this league. I've thrown for more yards than anyone ever. What thoughts go through your mind?
Well, I'm proud of that for sure. I think there are a lot of things that go into that. Staying healthy, being available week in and week out, playing through some things that require a little bit of grit, and then playing with really good players and good and not this past year or the year before that, but playing on some really good teams early in my career, midway through my career, and hopefully getting back to that. That's what excites me. Being a part of a team that's making a push this time of the year.
Matt Ryan is here with me today, in part because of the Salute to Service Award presented by USAA. We will talk all about that. But as you talk about moving forward in your career, we had a long conversation on TV this morning about Tom Brady still doing what he's doing at the age of 43. As you sit back and look at it, I asked the question, is that going to become a new normal? Maybe not 43, but should we rethink what constitutes old for a player in any sport, and certainly in the NFL? How do you look at that question and of how long you think you can keep doing it at a high level?
Well, number one, I think it takes a unique skill set to be able to play, to that age. Tom's strength is being in the pocket, delivering the football from the pocket. He's done an incredible job of taking care of his body, his arm. But there's different types of players that are coming up now too, and guys that are more dependent on their speed and athleticism and getting outside the pocket. So I'll be curious to see. I think the rule changes have really helped that. I think protecting the quarterback and where we can and cannot get hit. I think that's made a huge difference in guys being able to stay healthy and play later into their careers. But I think there's a lot of changes in the quarterback position. Whether or not guys are going to be able to, play that long with different skill sets remains to be seen.
Because of the hits that they take. It's actually a very interesting and important point. Matt Ryan has missed only 3 games in 13 years. So let me make this Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. I don't expect you to have scouted quarterbacks, but I have sort of fallen in love a little bit with Mac Jones, the kid from Alabama, and he'll be one of those who's be drafted this year. And Matt, what everyone keeps telling me is, but he can't run. And I'm old enough to remember a time when that really wasn't part of the equation as we were analyzing quarterbacks and evaluating these guys coming in. Do you think we're entering a time in pro football where if you can't make plays and move the chains with your legs, that at some point here there won't be a place in the game for that quarterback?
I don't know about that. Part of what I've watched too. I mean, we watched a lot of Alabama. Steve Sarkisian, former offensive coordinator for us, was coaching there. So there's, an interest in a guy that you spend a lot of time with, and you're watching what they're doing. But I also got 2 wide receivers from Alabama, and all they want to talk about is Alabama football and what they're watching. So I watched quite a bit of it. I think one of the things is, you don't necessarily need to be a great runner, but you have to have the ability to extend plays and to get, 4, 6, 8 yards when you need it. And I think, when I watch Mac Jones, I think one of the things is he's good enough. He's not a great runner, but he's good enough. And I've always felt like for myself, that was part of how I played. Not a great runner, but 2-3 times a game you're going to get outside the pocket, you're going to extend a play, you're going to pick up a first down when you need it when they're playing man coverage. And those are the kind of things that, I still think there's a place in the game for those guys.
And how insufferable were Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley during that run? Like, just give me a sense of Alabama. They just annihilated everybody. How insufferable was that?
The only good part was, that they weren't covering every week because the lines were so big. They were killing people, but they weren't covering every week. So it made it okay. It wasn't insufferable. But those guys, they never stop.
Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. The great Matt Ryan is with me here. Okay, so let's talk about your future. The team sort of came to a little bit of a crossroads here with making the coaching change and the general manager change, and you start thinking about, is it time for a fresh start for everyone? And I wondered aloud multiple times, is it time for a fresh start for Matt Ryan? You are, to the point we made earlier, young enough to still have like a complete second chapter somewhere, which we've seen a lot of quarterbacks do. How do you view that part of your future at this stage of your career?
Well, I don't think you ever know how things are going to shake out moving forward. But I have the mindset now. I love Atlanta. I love our organization. I'm fired up about the new coaching staff, and it's my responsibility as a professional to be, ready to go and excited about that. And I am, and I want to be here. But that being said, it's not all in my control. What they want to do moving forward, what they view, is best for the organization. I respect and get that. I still think I've got a lot of tread on my tires. I still think I'm playing at a high level, and I still think I can go for a handful more years. So I'm gonna, keep my mindset on training, doing everything I can to be the best I can be, and hopefully that'll be here in Atlanta for a long time.
Matt Ryan is with me here. One more thing I want to ask you before we get to the program that you're involved in, and I've had so many players talk to me over the years about the experience of losing this game, of losing the Super Bowl. And, no one needs me to remind them of how difficult a loss you had in this game several years ago. And I enjoy asking players if they ever get over that. Would you say you've gotten over losing the Super Bowl? What's it, 4 years ago now, whatever that is, 5 years ago? Would you say you've gotten over it?
No. I don't think that ever leaves you. I think there's scar tissue that's always there. But I also think, it's like anything in life. You're better for it. You're better for the tough parts of life that you go through. And it's always kind of a notch that I'll have on my belt that, I'm disappointed in the way it shook out. But I know for sure I'm tougher and mentally just better for it. And so, I think the next time I get there, I'll be able to handle the situation better than we did the first time.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.